Hello and welcome to my first OMDU strategy guide. The map you see here is the throne room. In the beginning it is vital to place barricades to block the eastern and southeastern ways which lead to the rift. All enemies will be forced to march through the southern temple room, where our team will create a kill zone. In the beginning of the match our team can rely on our guardians to fight off the first wave. As a general rule, you should try to place guardians on their home grounds, as they will receive notable bounty in attack and defense there. The symbol in the upper right corner of the guardian's picture should match the blue symbol which hovers in the air above the home ground, as you can see when I place the guardian now. As a starter, I choose kobolds and the slow aura spell to surprise our enemies. Perhaps it will be sufficient for them to make it through. Let's see. I won't say much about the placement of the traps because it is similar to the battleground mode. Flip traps, for example, throw smaller groups of enemies into the asset. And to the right of my position is a swing mace, which I will use in a few seconds on the heavy beer unit. You'll notice that our team activates all its special abilities at once, right after the door is breached. We hope to overrun the enemy team with the sheer mass of invaders. The other team does the same, of course. That's why I activated my champion's ultimate skill and try to kill as many orcs as I can while I slowly back away, keeping out of their sword's reach. Unnoticing, I'm retreating into a slaw area placed by the enemy. Striking at the totem comes as an instinct, but in retrospective I should have let it stand there and focus on the orcs first. There were no other champions trapped by that slow aura, and there was no danger of enemies slipping away because the room to the east is a dead end. I'm losing precious time and a lot of hit points on this distraction. Blackpaw and I are fighting on this bridge instead of swiping them aside with a southern swing mace. But there's an important reason for that. The southern mace is bugged, meaning it throws the enemies high into the air and over the wall, directly into the throne room where the rift is. Just don't use it until the developers fix that. For the second wave I chose shielded grizzlies, which I'm going to make invisible for a short time. Hopefully they will go through unnoticed. I always count until 5 before activating the stealth ability, so the unit will become invisible just in time when entering the map. Again, Smolder placed a totem in this wave. This time it is a speed aura for the minions. Speed auras are always priority targets because they usually allow minions to evade a lot of damage. Sometimes it's hard to hit the totem while a wave of enemies rushes through between you and the totem. In these cases I give up on the totem and switch my target.
And our heroes destroyed the unstable rift, and there was much rejoicing.
Now I think it's time to build the kill box. I will start with the barricades and put some tar traps at the end to slow down enemies who want to pass by. And I'm hoping for Blackpaw support to keep back the wave now. As a next step, I install the temple gong to further slow down enemies. Usually I put damage traps below the gong, so they take more damage while passing there. Blackpaw has his own idea of placing the barricades. He sold mine and he puts his own into maybe better fashion. Allowing other players to sell your traps has to be activated in the options, and I highly recommend you to activate that feature. With my refound I place an illusionary warrior who will support the guardian with attacking and slowing down the enemy horde. Oops, with all that talk about planning, somehow I forgot to choose my consumables for the next wave. In this case, the random number generator gives me satire runners and a trap disabling aura, which go very well along with each other, so I activate them simultaneously while my teammates activate their special abilities. The enemy team now activates 2 auras which affect our team. We are being drained of our unchained power, and at the same time placing traps costs twice as much as normal. As a third harassment, my champion is affected by a trap disabling aura. I learned not to panic when multiple tickets pop up, but backing away from your teammates is usually a good idea when you're affected by a ticket with a green background. As long as I fight with that aura around me, the gong above me does not trigger, so I back away even further. So that's basically all I can tell about this throne room map. As you can see, we're basically set up, and I will show you some excerpts about how this yes, we are basically set up now, and I will fast forward and show you cutaways of how the match progresses. Hope you could tolerate my rusty pronunciation, and I thank you for watching this test video. Goodbye.